Farage.
Well, I agree with Camilla. There is an entirely false debate going on. I think Labour have chosen to make the NHS at the absolute centrepiece of their general election campaign. And so the word privatisation is bandied about without really meaning anything. I mean, this is something that I've thought about. We've got an ageing population. The demand for health services is going to go up over the next few years hugely from where we are now. I've looked at, what happens in France, what happens in the Netherlands. They tend to use more insurance-based systems. We as a party have decided that the NHS being free at the point of care is absolutely vital, and that actually the involvement of the private sector that we saw under Labour and continuing now has not thus far been a great success. Take the PFI contracts, the private finance initiatives. New hospitals were built, but rather than going to borrow money, on the gilts market, in that horrible city place where they're all crooks and everything, and rather than doing that, what Labour did was to go to really rich people in private equity groups. So we borrowed 50 billion sterling to build new hospitals, which we built, and no question, but the repayments on that are 300 billion sterling. We have outsourced all sorts of contracts like cleaning of hospitals, and look at what the results have been. So my answer to the question is, in the short term, rather than outsourcing to the private sector the functions of the National Health Service, why don't we get a grip and run what we have better and do it ourselves and not make so much big cash for private equity?
Okay. And so you've dropped the idea of insurance policies for paying for your health?
No, we had a debate about the idea, and it's quite right that all political parties, before they formulate policies, should have a big, open debate, and that nothing should be off the table. You should debate and discuss.
But you're saying it's
everything.
off the table now, as far as you.
I'm saying that we will fight a general election, saying we think that the outsourcing to private firms that we've seen under the last two governments has not delivered good value for money or good patient health care.
But you still want free at the point of
Absolutely.
demand or supply.
Absolutely.
All right. Russell Brand.